Welcome to our company. We promised to give you a field test, and we are going to do that. So what we have decided is to dig a hole. The hole is going to be 8 feet deep, 2.5 meters. A lot of our customers have been wondering and asking questions about our system and its capabilities. So we thought a field test is the best way to demonstrate its capabilities and what it can do for you. The issues and some of the questions that came up is whether our system is affected by moisture in the ground. Water, is that going to affect the results? Most other companies claim that you cannot do a field experiment and bury something right away and be able to scan it the next day. You have to leave it in the ground for months. So, as they claim, it has to form a magnetic field around the target in order for their systems to pick it up. Our systems are different. It is new technology. We have 5 patents that goes into the design and manufacturing of our system. So, what we are going to attempt to do is bury those boxes in water at the bottom of a 2.5 meter hole, cover it up, and within 24 hours, we are going to go back and we're going to scan it, and you can see the results for yourself. So stick around with us to the end of the video. And for now, I would like to welcome you to walk with me, and let's go to the hole. Okay, we are at the hole right now. Let's take a good look at it. And as we promised, we said we're going to put a lot of water. There's going to be a lot of water at the bottom of it to take care of that issue people were telling us about, that things can be affected by water. Now, let's measure the hole together and determine the depth. I will be sticking this measuring tape all the way down into the water, and we're gonna take a good look at what our hole is measuring. Let's take a look and see. Here we go. We're looking about 92, 93 inches, which translate to about 2 meters and 30 centimeters, almost 8 feet, almost 2.5 meters. It is about 10 centimeters shy. Now, these are the boxes we are going to bury. And let me give you the measurements of the boxes, because in case somebody asks. There are 2 boxes. This is the iron box we're looking at, and the one to the right of it is actually the wooden box. The wooden box is also full of copper. We filled it with copper. And the measurements are, the wood box on the right is 20 centimeters by 15 centimeters, 8 by 6 inches. The iron box is 20 centimeters by 30 centimeters, 8 inches by 11 inches. Now, these are the boxes that we are going to bury. My assistant will be going into the hole in a minute, and I will be handing him these boxes. We have various metals in this box. Here we go. My assistant is going to go into the hole, and he's wearing these clothes because there's a lot of water down there and we don't want him to get wet. And as we can see, it is a deep hole. I will be right now, in a few seconds, handing him. We're going to put one at the far corner to the left of the screen, and one at the right far corner to the right of the screen. Now we're handing him the wooden box. And these boxes are going to be submerged in water, totally submerged in water. So to answer the question in regard to whether water affects the scans or not, because some of the systems are really suffering from that. They're giving false readings because there is a lot of moisture. Now it's time. By the way, my assistant did come out of the hall before I started covering the hall. So if you're worried about my assistant, he is actually behind the camera. Don't worry about him. He's good, well, and in good shape. Let's cover the hall together. Now that we covered the hall and we came back the next day, we put down this grid. Now, this grid right here is something we made ourselves. And what it is, it will help us measure and take the measurements of the scan correctly. It is 10 squares by 10 squares, as you can see, and each square measures 30 by 30 centimeters. We use this to get a better and more accurate results from our scan. The red spot you're seeing here is where we should start the scan. We always should start the scan at this spot on the left side of the grid. And we go in a zigzag way, as you can see with the arrow. We finish there, then we move to the next one, and we go backward. You're going to see this on the video very soon, once we start doing our scan. And we keep going until we finish the entire scan all the way to the far end. We also marked here where the boxes are. We put a little marker on each of them. On the left-hand side is where our iron box filled with various metal is, and our wood box filled with copper is on the right-hand side. Okay? We are almost ready right now to start preparing for our scan. We are going to move into the tablet very soon, and we're going to start inputting all the parameters. And here we go. First step, taking and looking at our tablet. We have to start the program, X Pro 3D. So we click on it. A page is going to appear saying select operator mode. The type of scan we want to take right now is a concentrated scan. Therefore, we need to use the vertical scan. We click on vertical. The most important thing to do right at this time is to ground balance the system with the type of ground that we are dealing with and the environment that we are in. In order to do that, we have to go to a special place where we will do the ground balancing. There is a left arrow at the top left of this page. We click on it. Looking at this page here, at the bottom, we have three choices: new, 3D, and 0. We have to click on 0. Now, our probe is going to ground balance with the ground. Of course, we are now standing on the left-hand side of our grid that we laid down, with the probe facing down at the first square. We will wait for a few seconds, almost to a minute, and then we will choose again the type of scan we want to take. The way to do that, if you look at the left-hand side where the arrow used to be, there are 3 bars. We are going to click on that. Now we have the choices in front of us. It says free walking mode, manual sampling mode, and vertical manual sampling, change language, and about. We are going to choose the vertical manual sampling mode. We will go into more in-depth of all the other modes in other videos, but for today we are going to do the scan and prepare it. So click on vertical manual sampling. It takes us to the page where we began with. Now that we are here, we are going to initiate a new scan. As you can see at the bottom, we have several options: open, grid, new, save, and 3D. We are going to click on new. This will bring us to the sampling setting menu. We already know that each square is 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters. Now, if we go all the way down to track count, we know that our track is 10 squares by 10 squares. We're going to change this to 10 squares, and the sample per track has to also change to 10 squares. The menu adjusted itself already, so the area we are actually taking the scan for is 2 meters and 70 centimeters by 2 meters and 70 centimeters, width and height 270 and 270. Our track count is 10, our samples per track is 10, and our step size, which is the size of each square, is 30 centimeters. Once we are at this level, we hit the OK button. Once we do that, the tablet is going to connect directly with the probe. Let's do that. As you can see, our tablet is now connected with the probe, and we are ready to take a scan. The only thing we need to do right now is hit the begin button and take the first picture of the first square standing at the left-hand side of the grid. We recommend always that you take the first square on the left, and that is where you start taking the scan. Let's begin. Now we are going to hit the begin button, and as you can see, I'm standing exactly on the far left first square, and as I move over every square, I push the button that takes a picture. Now we move to the next line and we go backwards until we finish each row. And you're going to see how we do it, and we're going to speed this up a little bit as not to bother everybody watching me taking the whole scan for 100 pictures. 10 squares by 10 squares is actually 100 pictures we are going to take over the area where the targets are being buried. And we can watch how the software is managing each picture that we take. And you will be able to see it on your tablet as you are doing the scan. Very interesting, quite enjoyable. Here we go, we're speeding things up here to finish it. And once we finished, we have to save the file, and you will be prompted to do that. You give it a name and you save it. And once it's saved, we will move on to the next segment. Now that we have saved our image after successfully completing our scan, we are looking at the image that we have in front of us. For a first look, it looks just like all the images that other systems on the market take. And according to all these other companies that make systems similar to ours, they tell their customers that if you're looking at this picture, the red is your target, the blue is void, the green is natural ground, the yellow is mineralized soil, and all these black little dots and lines around them are rocks and stones and structures, and this is what you have to look at. And then they give them another option of looking at this image in 3D. They say, take a look at it in 3D. Well, we have that capability here, so let's actually look at it in 3D. Okay. That 3D still doesn't tell me anything. Now we have a new color too, which is pink. Where is my targets? I can't see my targets. I don't see two boxes that I buried. Do you? Okay. We'll bring the image back to the way it was, and we will apply a grid on it. Still, this little red here it has changed. On other systems, it doesn't usually change. Well, that's not enough, so we are going to further analyze this. But as you can see now, we have 10 squares by 10 squares by applying the grid option. There is a button here on the left-hand side called VOL. On our software, once we push that button, it will give us the entire layers of the ground. Now, this is where we go further and other systems stop. Other systems will stop at this level, making you sit and guess where your targets are and how deep they are. Let's see what our system can do. Now we will hit the VOL button on the left-hand side under the arrow and see what happens. Okay. As you can see, here are all the layers of the ground underneath us where the two boxes are buried. There's still blue there, and with other systems it should mean void, but I know and you know we have no void in that hole at all. There is this golden, almost red, and that could be our targets right here. Well, we have something very, very special in our software, and the X6 Pro can actually eliminate all these things that you actually see around the targets and give us only the targets that we are looking for and a very close image of the shape of what these targets are looking like. So without any delay, let's do that. If you look at the top of this page, you are going to see 3 dots on the right-hand side. This will take us to another page where we can apply the filtration of the image that we need to do. Let's click on that. Now that we are here, We have our ISO value count. These gives us actually more filters. We're gonna just deal with 3 filters today. These are the filters that will eliminate everything around our target. We usually teach our customers, and we always teach our customers how to use these. There will be a separate video that we will make on the teaching of how to apply these filters to the image in order to get the final result. For now, I am going to do this very quickly. This video is taking too long, so let's see what happens after we apply our filtration. There's a white arrow on the left-hand side of the top image right here. We're going to apply it, and we are going to see what happens once we filter our image and remove everything around it but our 2 boxes. And there we have it. There are our 2 boxes that we have buried. One is made of iron with metals in it, and the other one is made of wood with copper inside it. We also can get the depth from this image, and we will teach our customers how to also do that. This is the difference between us and other systems that are on the market. Contact us to find out more technical information about our products. We always help our customers analyze the images they take. Our success is your success, and your success is our success. We would like to help you find the targets you are looking for. Thank you for staying with us till the end of the video, and we are looking forward to hearing from you.